Stop believing that you have time. That's the first lie that prevents you from truly living. Each day you postpone, life shortens a bit more. And while you make endless plans, death watches in silence. Not with cruelty, but with patience. It doesn't come to snatch anything away. It just reminds you that nothing belongs to you. Neither your body, nor your achievements, nor even the people you love. Everything you now consider yours is on loan. And each breath is one more signature on that invisible contract that will one day expire. Accepting death is not surrendering, it's awakening. It's understanding that the only real thing is this moment, and wasting it on fear, guilt, or pretense is an act of self-deception. The Stoics didn't speak of death as a tragedy, but as a teacher. Marcus Aurelius saw it as a guide to clarity. Seneca as a companion that teaches you not to fear. Epictetus as a reminder that you only control your actions, not their duration. When you assume it with serenity, life purifies itself. You stop arguing over trivialities, accumulating useless things, holding on to empty people. You start to live with purpose, unhurried, but without pause. Reflecting on death doesn't extinguish the desire to live, it ignites it. It forces you to look at your days for what they really are, a limited resource. And that limit is not an enemy, it's a compass. If today were the last day, would you continue to act the same? The one who has the courage to look death in the eyes does not become dark, they become free. Because only the one who accepts the end can at last begin to live. 1. Wake up each day remembering that you are not eternal. Waking up is not opening your eyes, it's remembering that you might not do it again tomorrow. And although it sounds harsh, that is precisely the spark that gives meaning to everything you do. Every morning, as the sun peeks out and the world seems to continue as if nothing changed, the reality is that one day, you don't know which one, will be the last time you see it. Accepting that doesn't steal your calm, it gives it back to you. Because when you understand that time does not belong to you, you stop wasting it on what is not worth it. Imagine that before you go to sleep they told you with absolute certainty that tomorrow you will die. Would you still be angry with someone? Would you still be postponing your dreams, your words, your acts of love? Probably not. You would live differently, with urgency, with truth. Well, the Stoics propose to always live like this, not as an exercise of fear, but as a practice of lucidity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live each day as if it were the last, without agitation, without indifference, and without hypocrisy." This is not a poetic phrase, it's an order, because whoever remembers their mortality becomes someone impossible to manipulate, to distract, or to deceive with superficiality. Thinking about death every morning is not morbid, it's disciplined. It's a training of the mind to focus its energy where it really matters. If you died today, would you have been true to yourself? Or would you have spent the day trying to impress someone who perhaps doesn't even think about you? Finiteness clears the gaze, cuts through the mental fog. It makes you aware that you can't afford to waste your existence on things that build nothing. There's no time for mediocrity, nor for living halfway. The fear of death is born from forgetfulness. We forget that each passing day is already a small death. Every dawn, yesterday ceases to exist, and something in you also disappears. But there's the beauty. You can be reborn with each new day. You don't need grand gestures, just presence. When you get up, don't say, "I have to go to work." Say, "I have one more opportunity to do something meaningful before I go." Don't say another same day. Say one day less. That awareness doesn't depress you, it focuses you. Death doesn't wait, but it doesn't rush either. It just observes what you do with what you have left. And most people live as if the clock didn't exist, as if eternity were guaranteed. That's why they postpone conversations, forgiveness, decisions, changes, until life shakes them and they understand too late that what they ignored was the only thing that really mattered. Don't let it happen to you. Wake up each morning with a clear mind and a heart aware of its fragility. Remember, you are not eternal, and that is your power. Because when you understand that time is limited, you start to use it like a warrior who knows the value of his sword. It's not about living with fear of dying, but about living in such a way that death finds you full, without pending issues, without regrets. Death teaches you to look at the clock without anxiety, to breathe without guilt, to value without possessing. Thus every dawn ceases to be routine and becomes a privilege. Live with urgency, but not in a hurry. Make each day a work that, if it were the last, would represent you proudly. 2. Give up on controlling the uncontrollable. Most people live as if the universe owed them explanations, as if everything should fit into their plans, their timings, their desires. But the truth is colder and more liberating than that. You control nothing except what you do with what happens. Not the weather, not other people's opinions, not losses, not endings. Everything else is out of your hands. And when you understand this, when you stop fighting the inevitable, something changes within you. You stop wearing yourself out and start living with a serenity that nothing can buy. Control is an illusion created by the ego to feel safe. We believe that if we plan enough, if we foresee every scenario, we can avoid pain, rejection, loss. But no, life does not negotiate with your plans. What you resist expands. What you accept dissolves. The Stoics knew this well. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you that disturbs you, but how you interpret it." And there's the key. You can lose everything and still be free if you maintain control of your mind. But you can have everything and live chained if you insist that the world obey you. Giving up control does not mean giving up, it means freeing yourself from the fantasy. It's understanding that you can direct your attitude, your words, your way of responding, but never the direction of the wind. A sailor does not curse the storm, he adjusts the sails. This is how one should act who lives with wisdom, not seeking to dominate chaos, but flowing within it with temperance and firmness. When you try to control the uncontrollable, you wear yourself out. When you accept that you can't, you strengthen yourself. This is the paradox that the ego cannot bear. The true power is born from detachment. Think about the times you suffered for something that did not depend on you. A person who changed, a lost opportunity, a betrayal, someone else's mistake. All that suffering was an emotional bill for trying to govern what never belonged to you. But when you understand that the universe does not revolve according to your will, life simplifies. You start to choose your battles, to save energy for what you can transform, your character, your discipline, your perspective. Giving up control is an act of trust, not in luck, but in your ability to stand firm even when the world shakes. The Stoics did not preach passivity but self-control. They knew that he who masters himself has already conquered all that matters. Serenity is not achieved by manipulating the environment, but by accepting its changing nature. You stop trying to force the river and become someone who knows how to navigate it. Absolute control is the root of modern suffering. We want to control how we are seen, how we are loved, how we are remembered. We are obsessed with projecting an image, showing that everything is under control. But the more you try to prove it, the more you lose peace. True freedom comes when you can look at chaos and say, "I don't understand it, but I'm calm." Because that calm does not depend on the outcome, it depends on your mind. Let the world be as it is. Don't fight the rain, learn to get wet without complaining. Don't curse the winter, strengthen yourself in it. Don't try to control people, control your reactions to them. This is how you live in peace, accepting the natural order of things. You don't need everything to go well to feel good. You just need to remind yourself that your power is in your response, not in fate. And when you do, when you let go of what was never yours, you discover a freedom that no external power can give you. Because in the end, whoever gives up control masters life. 3. Do today what could be too late tomorrow. Time doesn't give notice. It doesn't send messages or warnings. It simply passes, silent, relentless, tearing away seconds that will never return. Most people live believing that there will always be a tomorrow, that later will be the perfect time, that they will try, love, apologize later. But that later is the elegant disguise of emotional procrastination. The Stoics knew it. Postponing life is the slowest form of dying. Seneca wrote it harshly. While we postpone things, life passes. And that's what you're doing every time you say later. Every day you live with the false sensation of having infinite time. You lose an opportunity to build something real. There is no excuse that withstands the passage of years. There will not be an easier moment, nor a more favorable context, nor a divine sign that tells you, now, yes. The ideal moment does not exist. Your decision does. And the more you wait, the more you settle into inertia. Comfort is the most elegant trap that fear invented. It makes you believe that you are safe, when in reality you are stuck. Do today what could be too late tomorrow, because one day you will wake up and you will no longer have the energy, the desire, or the same people around. Everything changes. The opportunity to speak, to hug, to start fades away. There is nothing more painful than looking back and realizing that it was not destiny that stopped you, but your indecision. Don't wait to have courage to act. Act and courage will appear. This is how character is forged, by facing fear, not negotiating with it. Every time you delay something important, you are playing with the illusion that you control time. But the clock does not wait for your preparation. The world continues, the days pass, and life is consumed. And what hurts the most is not the loss of time, but realizing that you wasted it on soulless things. Repeating what is comfortable, what is known, what does not hurt, is the most subtle form of surrender. Do it now, not because tomorrow does not exist, but because today is the only thing you can touch. Stoic thought does not ask for impulsiveness, it asks for presence. It's not about running, but about acting with intention. Do today what you know you should do, even if you don't feel like it. Call who you need to call, start that project you keep postponing, write what you've been holding back for years. Don't wait to be ready, no one is. Perfection is the disguise of cowards. Imperfect action moves mountains. Indecision observes them from afar. Remember this, doing nothing is also a choice, and the price is life itself. Every time you postpone a step, time charges you with regret. And when the end comes, because it always does, there will be no room for excuses, only for silence. The Stoics did not fear death, because they lived in such a way that, if it surprised them, they left no unfinished business. That is true freedom, to look at the day that ends and know that you gave your best. If you were to die tomorrow, what would you have wanted to do today? That question should be your compass every morning. Death does not threaten you, it pushes you. It is not an enemy, it is a reminder. So stop planning the perfect life and start living the present life. Don't wait for the right moment to change, because perhaps the right moment was this one. Do it now, because tomorrow could be too late, and the only thing you would really lose is not time, but the opportunity to be who you should have been. 4. Let go of what you cannot keep. Everything you have, even what you love the most, is destined to leave someday. No matter how much you care for it, how much you hold on to it, or how much you fear losing it, everything that lives is made to transform, and so are you. However, we spend our lives trying to stop the inevitable, clinging to people, moments, routines, or ideals that have already fulfilled their cycle. The result is suffering. Because when you try to hold on to what time wants to take away, you not only lose that, you lose yourself in the attempt. Stoicism teaches something brutally simple. Possession is an illusion. Nothing truly belongs to you, not your body, not your money, not your prestige, not even the people you call mine. Everything is transient. Epictetus said it clearly. Never say that you have lost something. Say that it has been returned to you. That phrase, although short, encloses the greatest freedom a human being can achieve. When you understand that nothing is yours, you stop fearing loss. And whoever does not fear loss lives lightly, without emotional chains, without anxiety for what could disappear. Let go of what you cannot keep. because the more you hold on to it, the more it hurts. People change, stages end, bonds transform. But the fear of letting go is the fear of accepting that time advances without your permission. Many continue to carry empty relationships, memories that are now ruins, or guilt that only exists in their mind. Holding on is trying to stop the river with your hands. The more you squeeze, the more it escapes. Letting go is not forgetting. It is understanding that what has been lived has already fulfilled its function, and that your task now is to move forward without resentment. Attachment is the disguise of fear. Fear of being alone, fear of starting over, fear of accepting that not everything ends as you imagined. But life does not owe you coherence, it owes you evolution. What leaves teaches you. What stays accompanies you. What arrives transforms you. Everything has a purpose, even if you don't understand it at the moment. The problem is that we confuse love with possession, stability with repetition, security with control. And so, without realizing it, we become prisoners of the known. Letting go is not an act of weakness. It is an act of power. It takes more strength to accept change than to resist it. When you let go of what you can no longer keep, the soul lightens, and what once hurt becomes a lesson. The Stoics practice this exercise every day. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "Soon you will forget everything, and soon everyone will forget you." He did not say it with sadness, but with wisdom. The insignificance of the external frees the weight of the internal. When you accept that oblivion is part of the cycle, you learn to live without fear of the end. Nothing lasts forever, and that is precisely what makes it worthwhile. The ephemeral is what gives value to what has been lived. A sunset, a hug, a conversation, a look, all are borrowed moments, but eternal in their intensity. When you learn to love without possessing, to thank without demanding, to remember without depending, you become invincible. Loss ceases to be a tragedy and becomes a transformation. So let go. Let go of what no longer vibrates with you, what weighs you down, what only exists in nostalgia. Let life follow its course. You are not here to retain, you are here to flow. And when you do, when you understand that true strength is not in resisting but in accepting, death itself ceases to be a threat. Because the one who has learned to let go in life no longer fears losing anything. 5. Speak, act, and love authentically. You don't know how many more times you'll be able to say what you feel, do what you desire, or embrace the one you love. That's the truth we avoid facing. We live as if opportunities were infinite, as if words could wait, as if affection could be saved for later. But later doesn't exist. Life is not measured in years, but in true moments, and authenticity is what makes them eternal. Speaking, acting, and loving authentically is the purest way to defy death, because what is born from truth does not wither with time. Most people fear being real. They fear showing vulnerability, saying what they think, loving without guarantees. They prefer to adapt, pretend, control others' perception. But the price of that falsehood is disconnection. You distance yourself, you fragment trying to please, you become a diluted version that survives, but does not live. The Stoics despised that superficial life. For them, living with virtue was being consistent between thought, word, and action. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do what is right, the rest doesn't matter." And that doesn't matter encompasses everything: judgment, criticism, fear. Speaking authentically is not about saying everything you think, but speaking from truth, without embellishments or masks. It's daring to say no when everyone expects you to say yes. It's defending your boundaries, even if it makes others uncomfortable. It's expressing what you love without fear of appearing weak. In a world full of noise and appearances, honesty has become a revolutionary act. Not everyone will understand you, but you will live in peace, because there is no heavier burden than pretending. Acting authentically means to stop seeking approval. Every decision you make out of fear of disappointing others is a silent betrayal to your soul. Life is not about fitting in, it's about expressing yourself. When you do the right thing just because you should, you live on autopilot. When you act from your principles, even if no one applauds you, you live with purpose. The Stoics didn't seek admiration, they sought consistency. And that consistency is what gives strength even in the face of death, because you know you lived without masks, without pretending, without lying to yourself. Loving authentically is the greatest challenge of all. It's not about eternal promises or empty romanticism. It's about presence. Looking at the other person and saying, "I love you today," without demands, without wanting to possess you. Death teaches us that every love is temporary, and that makes it more valuable. Accepting that it can end forces you to live it with intensity and gratitude. Not loving for fear of losing is not loving at all. Authentic love does not seek eternity, it seeks truth. Authenticity is not rebellion, it's freedom. It's walking with your head held high, knowing that you didn't pretend to be someone else to fit into anyone's mold. It's looking back and not being ashamed of your silences, your words, your gestures. Death does not scare those who have lived true to themselves, because the one who was authentic has already defeated oblivion. So stop silencing what hurts, stop hiding what you love, stop acting as if your life were a rehearsal. Speak with truth, act with courage, and love without fear. You can't control how long your existence will last, but you can decide that every word, every action, and every love bear your real stamp. Because when you do, even if you die tomorrow, you will have truly lived. 6. Value silence more than haste. The world runs as if it were fleeing from something, but in reality, it is fleeing from itself. Everyone moves, everyone searches, everyone fills themselves with noise so as not to hear the echo within. Haste is the most accepted distraction of the century, an elegant way to evade the discomfort of thinking. We were taught that stopping is losing, that rest is laziness, that silence is emptiness. But the Stoics knew the truth. Only those who stop to listen can know themselves, and only those who know themselves can live wisely. Every time you choose silence over haste, you choose depth over surface. While others run trying to reach something they don't even understand, you choose to observe, reflect, and act with purpose. Life is not measured by speed, but by the awareness with which you traverse each moment. Marcus Aurelius wrote it clearly: stop, observe, and understand. Silence connects you with what really matters. Haste takes you away from everything, even from yourself. There are people who need to be busy all the time so as not to think. They fill their schedule, saturate their senses, talk incessantly, work without purpose. But behind that constant movement there is fear. Fear of facing the void. Fear of admitting that they don't know who they are. Silence is not absence, it is total presence. It is the pause, where the mind clears and the soul breathes. Haste, on the other hand, is an escape disguised as productivity. You run so much that you end up getting nowhere, exhausted, meaningless, disconnected from everything. Valuing silence does not mean abandoning your goals. It means moving calmly, with direction. The wise do not run, they advance. They know that what matters is not arriving first, but arriving consciously. When life is filled with noise, you lose the ability to discern what is worth your energy and what is not. Silence acts like a filter. It cleanses the unnecessary, reveals the essential. In it, you understand that you don't need to respond to everything, nor argue about everything, nor be present in every battle. Not doing everything is also a decision, and often the wisest one. The Stoics practiced mental stillness as a form of strength, not out of weakness but out of mastery. Seneca said that nothing demonstrates more power than a mind that does not react to chaos. Silence is not passivity, it is strategy. It is observing before acting, analyzing before responding, conserving energy before wasting it uselessly. While the impulsive wear themselves out in empty words, the one who is silent and thinks becomes invincible. Value silence more than haste, because noise promises you results, but silence delivers clarity. You don't need to shout to be heard, nor run to move forward. You need direction, presence, and balance. In silence, you learn to listen to what haste does not let you hear, your true thoughts, your repressed emotions, your real desires. It is in this space where character is forged, where the calm that does not break in the face of the world's noise is born. Society will tell you that slowness is weakness, but the Stoic knows that serenity is strength. Do not fear going slow. Fear living asleep. Do not fear silence. Fear depending on noise to feel alive. Learn to stay still without feeling guilty, to think before speaking, to breathe before reacting. That is the power of silence. It turns chaos into wisdom and haste into purpose. Because when you master the art of stopping, you stop being dragged by time and start to master your life. 7. Turn death into your daily mirror. Looking at death is not an exercise in despair, but in clarity. It's not an enemy or punishment, it is a reminder, the most sincere reflection of what you really are and what you are doing with your time. Each passing day brings you a little closer to the end, and there is no way to avoid it. But instead of fearing that fate, you can use it as a compass. Death doesn't ask for fear, it asks for awareness. When you make it your mirror, you stop looking outward for meaning and start looking inward for truth. The Stoics practiced this habit with discipline. Not because they were insensitive, but because they knew that remembering death purifies the mind. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Live each day as if life had begun and ended with you today." In that sentence, there is no tragedy, there is freedom. If you accept that everything can end at any moment, your priorities change. You stop postponing conversations, pretending emotions, living to please. You start to act with precision, to love with truth, to say what is necessary without fear of being misunderstood. Death as a mirror does not weaken you, it makes you authentic. Imagine that every morning when you wake up and look in the mirror, instead of just seeing your reflection, you see the reminder of your finiteness. Would you continue to waste the day on complaints, comparisons, trivialities? Would you continue to silence what you carry inside or postpone what would make you free? Knowing that you are going to die should not sadden you. It should awaken in you a more intense fire to live with meaning. Death takes away the superfluous and leaves you only with the essentials: character, purpose, and truth. Turning death into your mirror is a practice of brutal honesty. It forces you to look at the masks you wear and ask yourself why you wear them. It shows you the empty hours, the excuses, the fears, the times you chose comfort over growth. But it also teaches you that you are still here breathing, with the opportunity to correct your course. Every day you live knowing it could be the last becomes a day won, not a lost one. It's not pessimism, it's existential precision. He who fears death fears life, and he who learns to live with it finds a peace that others do not understand. It's not resignation, it's mastery. Knowing that you are going to die makes you selective. You do not give your energy to what does not nourish you. You do not argue over nonsense. You do not waste your life in small wars. You learn to say, "This is not worth my time." And in that simple phrase, there is more wisdom than in 1,000 speeches. Every night, before going to sleep, imagine that you will not wake up tomorrow. Not as a morbid game, but as a training in lucidity. Ask yourself, did I live today as if it were the last? Did I love with truth? Was I brave? If the answer is yes, you can sleep in peace. If it is no, be thankful for the privilege of a new dawn to correct it. Death, when accepted, ceases to be a shadow and becomes a teacher. There is no clearer mirror than the certainty of the end. When life is seen from this perspective, every minute becomes sacred. Don't waste any more time running from that truth. Let death look at you straight on every morning, and you look at it too. If you can hold that gaze without fear, you will have understood the secret that few discover. Living is not resisting death, it is reconciling with it. Only then does each day cease to be a repetition and become a conscious gift. 8. Live lightly but with depth. Carrying too much is the surest way to die prematurely. I'm not just talking about physical weight, but emotional, mental, the kind that is unseen but crushes the soul. We live accumulating things, guilt, expectations, stories that have already expired. We walk through life with backpacks full of past and anxiety for the future, and we wonder why we are so exhausted. But the truth is that lightness is not found in fleeing from the world, but in learning not to cling to it. Living lightly is not living superficially, it is living consciously. It is knowing what is worth carrying and what only steals energy. It is understanding that life does not demand as much as you think. What weighs you down are not the circumstances, but the attachments. The Stoics repeated it over and over again. Freedom is not obtained by accumulating, but by letting go. Marcus Aurelius wrote it with rawness and beauty. Things do not touch you. Your opinion about them is what hurts you. It is your mind that decides whether something drags you or propels you, whether what you carry on top is a shield or a chain. Living lightly also means to stop dramatizing existence. Not everything deserves a battle. Not everything deserves an explanation. There are silences that are worth more than 1,000 justifications, and farewells that are actually liberations. Those who live deeply do not cling, they observe. They learn, accept, and continue. The one who fears losing ends up losing more, because while you try to retain what time wants to take away, you let pass what the present offers you. Depth is not in thinking too much, but in truly feeling, in savoring a coffee without looking at the phone, in watching a sunrise without needing to take a picture, in listening to someone without thinking about what you will answer later. That is true depth, being completely in what you do, without dispersion, without pretense. Lightness without depth is emptiness. Depth without lightness is weight. But when both are balanced, inner peace is born. The Stoics did not seek a life of luxury or excess. They sought a clean mind. A mind that does not cling to praise or crumble in the face of criticism. A mind that does not need to be right, only consistent. That is the lightness the soul needs. Not that of carelessness, but that of mastery. Living lightly does not mean lacking commitment, but living without mental slavery. It means to stop carrying the expectations of others, the guilt that is useless, the absurd idea that you must do it all. Ask yourself, how many things that weigh you down could you let go of today and still be you? How many mental burdens have you confused with responsibilities? Being deep is not analyzing everything until you exhaust yourself. It is seeing clearly what deserves your energy and what does not. It is walking with a firm step, but without unnecessary stones in your pockets. Death teaches that better than anyone. When you understand that everything you accumulate, money, pride, resentment, will not cross with you to the other side, you start to travel lighter. And then life becomes clearer, simpler, more yours. You don't need to prove anything, you don't need to carry so much, you don't need to run to feel alive. You just need to be conscious, weight-free, full of presence. Thank you for staying until the end of the video. If you watched the whole thing, comment, "I am Stoic," as our secret signal to know that you're a true student of Stoicism. Don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like if you enjoyed it. See you in the next video, and remember, keep cultivating your Stoic mind.